Hello again, James here. I just wanted to show you something that's going to really shock your mind. Here is you know how people were protesting about the flag, uh, and you know how in past times that it represents slavery. Unfortunately, a lot of black people sided with the South, and here's the history of the flag, and here's a history of ancient times in the South. That's why if you go down south, there's some people like this gentleman right here, and this gentleman right here, and this gentleman celebrate the Confederate flag with the ones who are rebels. It's hard to believe that you see black folks, but this has a history that goes back the same time. So everything is new is under the sun. Here's a Mississippi woman flag, black Mississippi woman. Here's another person wearing the flag. There's some people burning outside the American flag. But yeah, they were black Confederates here. There was a yeah that fought. There were bluecoats that fought for the South. The gray coats. I mean, the gray coats fought for the South. And here is a gentleman standing with a Confederate flag. It was just a lot of people don't know about this part of history, but yeah, the Confederates actually had a black regiment, like the Bluecoats did. They actually had a black regiment, like like over here fighting for the North. Here's the Bluecoats, the North. Here's the Bluecoats to represent the North. And here's the Confederates, black Confederates. Yep. Oh Jesus. Hold on. Let's loading up a little bit. Nope, I don't want to show that. But here's a black Confederate soldier. So not only that you had white men fighting in this war, the Greycoats, you had black men fighting on both sides. So this is no stranger that when you have mentality of what you see black people repeat today on both sides of the track, they stick up for the slave masters. But there actually was a black Confederate, and they were right. That stood by and fought with their southern white counterparts. And here's another dude. This is the same dude that he's a black Confederate, and he's not ashamed of flying that Confederate flag. Now here's the guys in the blue coats. They were from the north. These are the bluecoats. So they were slaves fighting slaves along with their slave masters. Yes, that's why America. That's why America always repeats itself. You have white fighting white, and black fighting black over the same issue. So when they took down the flag in those towns, not only that the white people was upset, but the blacks were upset in these little small Mississippi towns. It's hard to believe that, ain't it? But yeah, there are black people that side with the Confederates, with the ones that got that Confederate flag. Here is another one for all you. So this is what they said. Someone put up a flag, but yet they were black Confederate soldiers. Until this day, there's black people who stand by that flag along with their white counterparts in the South, in the Mississippi, and all down through them states. Yeah. But yeah, they were actually black soldiers. There's another gentleman kneeling with the Confederate flag on the memorial of the black Confederate soldiers. Hard to believe, ain't it? Carter's heritage. This is a black man. So yeah, some white people are right. They celebrate. It's hard to believe it. Sometimes you really are fighting your own. But this goes back to over since the 1700s. So black people have been against black people. Oh, the same thing. This flag that flies in this parts of the country, and even up here in Ohio, some people fly this flag. I've been down to Dayton, Ohio, and there was a couple trailer park homes that had the Confederate flag on it. So it's not just Mississippi or certain. You got places up here with fly that Confederate flag in the country. You go out in the countryside in Ohio. Ohio, it was considered a blue. They fought for the North, but it's a little history lesson. That's why we can't come together, black people, because we will always be divided among ourselves. You know how they say, why can't we all get together? Well, this the reason why. Because they're going to side with the slave masters. And some black people honor generation after generation of slave masters. That's in the South. And despite all of this, despite this Ralph Norm making in blackface, that was a myth of the loyal slave. Basically, that's what they call it. So basically, what he's saying that the black people in Virginia is a slave, and they're friends with the Klan. And this is where the topic you hear about coonery and things like that. Well, this is obvious. That's why America, because that spirit is still in the land. There are whites as well as blacks carry the spirit. That's why every black person ain't that, and they will fight you harder than the white people will. You probably go down in certain parts of the outskirts about telling about the flag. They will fight you just as hard. And I know it's hard to believe that because they have a history of it. I'm going to show you a picture I saw. And I saw this black woman doing the same thing years ago. She was from, in fact, here she is. She's posting. Standing, a black woman, a black man, standing, saluting the Confederate flag. That's why this thing is real, ladies and gentlemen. This black woman defends the Confederate flag. I remember this article a couple of years ago. But yeah, there's black people that actually stuck up for this flag. That's why I said, look at this. A black woman dressing like in old slavery clothes. That's what they want. They want you to remind you. And these guys hugging each other and holding the flag. Here's another person with the Confederate flag. It's kind of shocking, ain't it? And guess where it lies at? Some people fly at a Trump rally. So really, we've always been at war. And it's going back in the Civil War. Some people pick up the Civil War mentality of black versus white. But really, some blacks were going to be on the white side